All right, how's it going, everybody? I'm going to do a campaign playthrough of the Rise of the Empire campaign for Astra Imperium. This is the first of the 5 different campaigns. What you'll want to do for campaign setup is make the campaign deck, which is all of the scenario cards stacked in order, and put them face up so that you can see the scenario rules. And we'll start with stage 1, and we're going to progress through some number of stages. It depends on the campaign you're playing, and this changes up based on the campaign you're playing. There's like special rules with different campaigns, but this first campaign is pretty simple. We're just going to look at these cards and do what they say, and then based on the result, we'll go to the next card. So we begin at the Emperor status. That's what this first campaign is about, is we're trying to maintain a decent level between Emperor, Dictator, and Tyrant. So the role of a young emperor of the empire is not an easy one. You carry the hopes of tens of thousands of men and women. You must learn to show yourself worthy. So this is us at the beginning of our global conquest. Special rules, there aren't any for this one. We just have to try to hit a VP score of 13, and we'll see if that can happen. And since there's no special rules, we're just going to play a normal game and see how it goes. I'm going to try to play pretty quickly so that I can get through a whole campaign for you. That'll be like 4 games here. And I'll put my deck over here just so it's not, there's not a good place to put it in frame here. And we'll get started. We're just trying to score well. That's all. If you didn't catch the overview video, the loop of this game is pretty simple from the standpoint of what you're actually doing on a turn. You're going to draw 3 cards, choose one card to either gain its resources or to play. And usually the playing has a cost to it and you get some benefit. So I'm going to see what the cards give me. I'm just going to take those resources, some science and some industry, so that I can have some options going into the later stages of this round. Call for Tribute is not useful. Nova Stage and Quantum Barter Deck. I'm going to look what these do again. Quantum Barter Deck gives us points based on our minimum resources. I do like that, although I'd rather get some engine building cards out early. And the Nova Stage lets us use science and military interchangeably, which is helpful. I tend to go the not conquest route. I tend to gravitate towards those, although you'll see in my other playthrough, if you haven't watched it, I did go the conquest route, and that worked out pretty well. But the question is, do I want to start building on that this early? I don't think so. We're just going to take more resources, one of each. We're going to take these. I want to be ready for when I do have something that I really want to build. It's always tempting to do the Mars to prevent invasions, and maybe we'll do that. This is the first time we've seen that, so we're going to do that. I'm going to pay those resources, and we'll put 1 cube, and we'll start work on the RSS Mars 1. If I can get that built this round, so we're looking for that second card. If I can get that built, then we can not worry so much about resources. This might be a good one. We're going to take one of each resource. No Mars again. Call for Tribute doesn't make sense. No need to build that. I'm not that interested in Conquest because I have a different strategy in mind. So we're going to take one of each. Okay, we're doing just fine on resources. I need to start investing. There we go. We're going to build the other stage of this. 2 industry and a military. Okay, final hand here. Okay, now my plan is, since we've built the second stage of this Mars, we get to ignore invasions. What I'm thinking is, let's get the Quantum Barter Deck, which at the end of the game gives you points equal to the resource that you have the least of. And I should be sitting pretty good in terms of if I can get those resources high and max that out, because I'm not going to need to spend military that last round. So I think we'll try that. We're going to spend We can't. We're going to try to get this next round, and then we'll decide if we want to try to get a different, like go for another. You know what? Let's just take some resources and be ready for next round. Okay, normally you would face this invasion and you'd have to either lose control of a region, or you would need to pay the military cost. But we have the RSS Mars 1. It's not worth a ton of points, but its ability is great, which is you get to ignore invasions. Okay, round 2. Or Act 2, I guess, is the language of the game. Shucks. So we want to build this, and we drew them both at once, but we'll pay the one we can. I like the industry cost a little better. Actually, I'm not sure why I like that better. It leaves us some change, at least, of the other one. So now, okay, we built one stage of that. Now I gotta decide if I want to try to go for anything else. Maybe just the data vault for straight points, or maybe we'll try to build some of the point scoring buildings at the end. Conquest, not that interested. Orbit Urbis, points per built buildings, not counting on that. So I think let's get some industry back right here. We've already built the Mars. What does the orbital fluxway do again? Oh, that's points per conquered region. I think I'm going to just take resources again. I feel like I'm playing too conservatively here. Well, at least now we can build anything. We're looking for how we want to, I think maybe data vault, and then we'll try to finish off that quantum barter deck. So, boy, I don't know if this is a good plan or not. We're going to take one of each resource and see how that goes. I need to start spending money to make money here. Did I pass the data vault already? Okay, take more resources. I don't necessarily recommend watching my playthrough for strategy advice. Normally, I also build these engine building cards, and I've avoided those this game, and I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not. All right, I'm just going to start. We got plenty of resources. I'm going to start building stuff. So we're going to build this building just for the 2 points. So that's 2 industry and a science. Yes, that's correct. And last hand, we must be drawing both data vaults. What? Am I going crazy? Oh, it was in that last hand. I blew right past it, and then there's got to be one more. Oh, we saw it in the first hand. Okay, well that'll just be all the more tricky to make it work in that last round. Sure, we're going to take... I didn't want any of these, right? We need... yeah. We're just going to make sure that we have the resources we need. Oh, that's right, and I need to conserve resources because we're trying to maximize the resources we have at the end of the game to score off of that quantum barter deck. Shucks, I maybe should have got... what am I doing? I should have got the engine building cards so that it's easier to max out my resources. Oh, goodness. It goes how it goes. Hopefully we don't lose our title of Emperor here. Okay, round 3. I mean, it's all about the resources right now, so... I think I'm just not even going to try for the data vault anymore, now that I remembered our plan with the quantum barter deck. I think I did that right. There's 3. So the data vault would take us down in science, and that's our lowest one, so we can't afford to do that. So we'll take those 2. Hopefully there's a quantum barter deck that doesn't have the... So the question is, do I want to build that? That's only 2 points. I think instead we're going to take 2 science. Maybe we can get like close to 7 or 8 points off of the barter deck. We haven't seen it yet. Don't tell me I passed it already. That sounds like me. I mean, it's literally the only thing I need to build. So, 1 military, 1 science. We're getting low on time here. Man, where is it? Every one of these is a point. If I can bring up the floor. Okay. There it is. I don't like that it's the 3 science, but if I can spend the 3 science and then maybe get lucky next turn and get a card that can bring that back up. So we're down to 6 there. But we have now built the barter deck, and gimme science. 1 science. That goes up, and that goes up. So that's the end of the game. Let's see if we did our 13 points here. We've got 1 for Rome. That's a controlled region. We've got 6 because, or 7, because that's our lowest resource per the quantum barter deck. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10 from the Mars. 11, 12. So that's 12 points, and we needed 13. We have lost the scenario. I feel like we could have seen that coming. But that's okay. We have a chance for redemption. We'll see how we did. So this is not a victory, it's a defeat. We'll read the flavor. Some voices are already raised to the question of your ancestry. In our lore here, honoring the ancestors like original Rome, like ancient Rome, is a big deal to this culture here. It is advisable to put an end to these slanders. So we go to stage 2 at the Dictator level. So we've essentially been bumped down a level. If we had won, we could have gone to Emperor. But we'll put that to the back. And we are doing this scenario. You solicit trades and introduce new taxes to get out of the crisis. Nevertheless, the revolt continues to roar. So we've got more points here to get, but special rules start the game with 1 extra resource of each type. So it's being a little bit nicer to us. But it's also requiring a bigger score. So let's see if we can do it. Okay, no special rules to remember in terms of gameplay, but we get off to a hot start. Let's try to put together a better scoring strategy this time. Okay, Data Vault is just points. Orbital Fluxway is per conquered region. Even though we're starting off with resources, I wouldn't mind just getting a couple more. Maybe we go a military route. Let's go science and industry. And those tend to help out with buildings and stuff. Okay, there's that data vault again. The solar harvester is just a building for points, although that has synergy if we would want to go the orbit Urbis route. What have we seen already? We have not seen the orbit Urbis yet. I don't know. I feel like I didn't do any engine building cards last time, and that kind of bit me. Maybe we'll try to build the Nova stage, and I'll build a different engine building card. So for now, I'm going to take resources. Because if we build either the military or the science engine building card, that's as good as getting both if we build the Nova stage. So there is the Nova stage. And why not? Let's do it. So the training facility might be okay. Either one of these would be okay. That we can't afford, so I guess we're going research lab. We can't afford that either. Ha! Okay. Shucks. Not a fan of how that played out for us. Man, we can't build either of those. Okay. Well, I'll take the one that gives us 3 resources. We're still low on industry. Oh, there's the other Nova stage, and we can afford it. That seems like the right thing to do. Okay, now this lets us spend science and military interchangeably. So as far as the game is concerned, they're the same thing. Okay. Conquer. Well, maybe this could be a conquer engine. I'm kind of getting into this late here. It's still round 1, but sure. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's conquer. That sounds fun anyway. You pay military equal to the number of regions you control, which right now is just 1. And what are we short on? Industry. We'll put 1 down there, and we'll gain an industry for that. Last hand. What's the orbit Urbis do again? Per building, you get paid points. I think let's gain some industry. That bit us last round. Okay, this time we don't have the Mars built, so we're going to have to deal with this invasion. I don't want to lose that location, so we're going to just pay the military. Technically, I could have paid either military or science. Okay. Act 2. Man, I get pulled in so many directions. I'm already thinking that strategy from last round, or last game, would be fun, but I think I need to commit. That's the hardest part. I gotta commit. I mean, we could build a Mars. That's still helpful if we're conquering. Honestly, though, I think I'd rather wait. So we're going to get 1 of each. I'd rather wait and just get an engine building card and just be flush with military and science. And those are hiding. The later in the game that we get, the less valuable those things are. We built the Nova stage. This is not a good idea. The orbital fluxway, if we do conquer, that might, yeah. Okay. We're doing something, at least. I'm not happy with, I'm being non-committal with my strategies, and that's exactly the wrong thing to do in this game. But right now my plan is, let's try to finish this. We'll double up on points for conquered regions, similar to my earlier playthrough. And in theory, the fact that we can spend science as military and vice versa should be able to help us out. Okay, can we build either of these cards? We could build whichever one we want. This one doesn't require military, so we're going to do that. Not that it matters, actually. Yeah. Okay. Now whenever we gain science, we gain extra science. Yeah, let's just... Oh, there's the orbital fluxway. We got time to build that. We're going to gain these guys here. I gained 3 for that one. I'd like to go a conquering. There we go. Let's do it. So we have 2 locations, and where do we want to go? What are we short on? Probably industry. Again. Ooh, more conquest. Can't afford it though. Bummer. Oh wait, yes I can, because I can spend science as military. Haha. That was the whole point of that. Yeah. So we need to spend 3. And then we get to conquer again. Let's get a science place this time. Now does that, I believe, I'm actually fuzzy on that rule. I'm gonna have to ask Raphael after this. I think anytime you gain, what I'm wondering is the resource that I gain from the conquest, does that, looking in the rulebook here, does that engine building card help me there? And I'm going to play it that it does. Grant you a bonus of 2 specific each time you gain at least one of the same resource. Okay, I'm going to say it counts. And maybe check the rulebook. We might put a clarification in. I think that's how I've always played it, is that counts. Yeah, we want resources. Okay, that's the end of the round. We're going to pay the military again. And we can spend science. Okay, I already did that. I feel like my camera's crooked. That's a little better. Marginally better. Okay, let's go into round 3 here. We want to finish that orbital fluxway, and we want to be able to conquer twice. That would be ideal. So we're going to try to just gain as much science and military as we can while still having enough funds, I guess, to build the orbital fluxway. So if you see the orbital fluxway, make sure you say something so I don't blow past it here. There it is. Perfect. That is built. And what's my goal? Conquer. I might have the margin to, maybe I'll try to build just some of those point scoring cards. So yeah, we're gonna gain some more science again and industry. This feels like a good run. I think we're gonna make our goal, hopefully. Okay, here's a point one. I hope we don't draw both conquest cards in the same run. That's 2 industry and a science. In the same hand, that is. A couple turns left. All right, there's 1 conquest. Great, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gets us another cube. What do we want? We want more. We want that science rebate. I don't actually care that much what this is, so we're going to take, we're maxed out on science, and I missed the other conquest. Okay, too bad. Yeah, it was early. Whoops. You know what? I bet it was the turn we built the orbital fluxway, and that was silly because I should have waited since I knew I had another crack at that, but that's okay. Let's tally up our score. I think it should be pretty good here. Wait, we have to make sure we can do the last invasion, which is 5 military, which we can afford pretty easily with our special ability here. Okay, you get points for every controlled region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to double that per the orbital fluxway, so that's 10, 11, 12 for the built-in points there. 13, 14, and we needed 15. Okay, we are on a losing streak. Narrow losses, man, and those were silly mistakes because you saw if I'd have played that correctly, I would have been able to do it. So, this game doesn't let you get away with much. All right, let's see. We did not get to read the victory entry. Defeat. As rioters flood the streets, you see fit to show humility. This clever maneuver avoids a fatal bloodbath. So, whoops, sorry about that. We're going to stage 3 as a tyrant. That's the bottom rung. So here we are. The situation worsens. The Senate decides to seize the goods of patricians to maintain their living standards. New riots break out throughout the city. Special rules. Start the game with the mining colony already built, and we have to hit 17. So we have a little bit of a little bit of help from that because we get the mining colony, which I think is the industry engine building card. We'll find it here. Wow. There it is. So that's built. Now whenever we gain industry, we get extra industry. So given that, let's think about our monument strategy. Industry is kind of just generically good. It's not good from the standpoint of we can't do this to get the flexible capabilities like we did last game. But since we already have a building, maybe we go for the Orbit Urbis, which gives you points per built building. And that has synergies with potentially the Quantum Barter deck, because if you're building all the buildings, 2 of them are just for points, but 2 of them are the other 3 are the engine building cards, and we already have 1. So let's just say we might need all this, by the way, to get to 17. So I think we got to go for it. My plan is Orbit Urbis for points, Quantum Barter deck for points, and then we'll try to get the Mars as well so that we can keep our... We'll try to do a better job of that build that we tried actually a couple games ago. So let's see how it goes here. See if I can keep my eye on the prize. Nova Stage, not needed. Call for Tribute, not needed. Solar Harvester. So this is needed for this, but I think I want the resources right now. I'm going to build that later. That takes a card out of the deck, and if you take too many out, your options go way down. So I hate to build that early. I like to build that sort of in a flurry in the last round. Okay, I talked about both the Barter deck and the Orbit Urbis. Oh, and I forgot, we've got this card, so we actually gained 2 more of those. What I might try to save my Mars. I'm going to try to build the Mars this round, and then in the last 2 rounds build those. Look at me, I got a plan. We'll see if it works. So we're just going to take those... no, not industry. We want the science. Okay, so Mars this round and the engine building cards. See what we can do. There's the Mars. That's the other point scoring card, and we don't want Conquest. So let's build the Mars. That costs 3 science. I hope what we need next doesn't cost science. Data Vault, not necessary to our strategy. So let's get that science back. Huh? There we go. There's the other Mars. So we can do it. I think we have to do it. I'm going to pay attention to what I'm missing out on here. Nothing too important. That's 2 industry and a military. And now we don't have to worry about invasions, which takes the pressure off our resources. So there's the barter deck, but we're low on military here. And I want to be in a position to build the engine building cards, which are definitely going to be in this next hand. So we're going to take, I believe, this one for resources. So 3 industry per our card here, and then 1 military, and hopefully, aha, I figured. So now we have a choice. doesn't really matter, so what do I want to spend more? I think we'll spend the military, so we're going to build the training facility here. And that costs 2 industry and military. Okay, and we can just put that there. I'm going to riffle shuffle this time, make sure we get a good shuffle. Okay. All right. I like that we have a plan. So now we want the Orbit Urbis. We want that 3rd engine building card. I think the Quantum Barter deck is the higher priority, though. The Orbit Urbis is just sort of a nice to have. So this round, let's say engine building card is tier 1. Tier 2 is the Quantum Barter deck. How we send on resources. I think I have to skip this one, even though we could afford it, and take resources instead, so that we can be prepared if something starts to cost us military. Oh, and we have the military engine building. That's beautiful. Look at that. It's starting to look nice. There's the other Quantum Barter deck. Oh, but we have to build this, I think. And it's early enough in the game. I think it should be fine. So, 2 industry and a science. And now, every time we gain resources, we're just raking it in. Right, so now I'm going to think about the Quantum Barter deck. We're going to take 3 of each resource. How about that? Okay. I'm not sure what to do here. I don't think we need any of these. So we're going to take resources. That takes us up to the top there. Okay. A couple turns left in this round. We want the barter deck. Man. Should we try for the data vault instead? Or do I stick to the plan? I feel like I'm clearly being inefficient here because a lot of those were wasted. Okay, second to last hand. Show me the is that the I missed the barter deck again. Okay. Man. Okay. I think we're to the point where we got to build this guy. So we're going to do that. 2 industry and a science. That's a little off camera, I apologize. I'll put it up here. And those resources are easy to make up. And what do we got? The Orbit Urbis. Well, we do want that one. So, okay. We have the Mars, so we don't have to worry about the invasion. And I built 1 stage of the Orbit Urbis, did I not? That's helpful if I actually give myself what I paid for. Okay, so we'll try to build that one. We also just 100% need the barter deck. So that's like, the barter deck is priority number 1 and keeping our resources high. So we have to hit both barter decks this round. And we just have to hope that we don't draw them both in the same hand. Okay, I don't see it anywhere. I mean, we could build this guy. Why not? There's 4 points, or 2 points. So that's 2 industry and that, okay. There's the barter deck. Gotta do it. My goodness. We have to hope we don't draw it next hand. because we're going to have to gain some resources back. Stretching myself too thin here. Come on. No! Oh, wait. We can't afford it. Okay, we can't afford it. Except I lost the Orbit Urbis. Did we encounter that yet? We did not. We're still in this. We're still in this. We have how many turns left? I might have to abandon the Orbit Urbis and just try to run our resources back up. We need science and industry. So we'll take these resources. We have 2 turns left. We need science and industry again. Okay. This is a non-starter for us because we need to keep all our resources as high as possible. This takes that down 3. I mean, we lose 3 points by building this, and we would gain 5. But no, but it's more than that, because if we take these resources instead, that's actually, that is actually pretty close. It's a, I think it's a 1-point swing. So we're going to take these resources, send this to the top. Let's tally up. I'm not confident. I got to be honest, not confident. Okay, 1 for Rome. 2, 3, 4 here for the Mars. So let's start with the big number. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Boy, am I good at being 1 short of the goal. All right. Another loss. Defeat. I don't know how to say that Latin phrase. Shout the citizens gathered in front of your palace. The population seems to hold you responsible. Well, I feel responsible. So we're headed to stage 4 as a tyrant. I still think we're allowed to pull off like a weak victory in stage 4 if we win. But either way, I'm not quite happy with our performance here, but that's okay. One last shot at redemption. And, oh, we got to read our prompt here. Your enemies are at the city gates. The Empire, the last bastion against barbarism, must continue to be the light of the civilized world at all costs. Stakes seem pretty high there. Got to hit 19 to not lose the campaign. Each region yields 2 victory points instead of 1 at the end of the game. If you lose a region, you lose the game. Okay, that tells us what we need to know in terms of we got to go Conquest, because that's the tool it's giving us to score higher. Gotta go Conquest. So a Conquest strategy to me means, I mean, the perfect scoring would be Orbital Fluxway plus perhaps either the Nova stage or the Mars. Either one of those. But we just have to conquer. So I really think the Nova stage is going to take priority over the Mars, so that we can try to guarantee that we always have military accessible. Even though we're going to be bleeding military from invasions, maybe we can get that Mars built before the game end, but like Conquest has to be our priority, and we have to be almost perfect. So we're going to be taking military and trying to build that Nova stage. Oh, and the Orbital Fluxway. Okay, these two, that's our plan. Don't want this, because that can't be substituted for science if we do get the thing built. And there is the Nova stage. We can't afford it. do one of each. Science and industry. Okay, that's just a points building. This would be helpful. It wasn't in the plan. But I do think we're going to go for it. That's the only engine building card I'm going to take, though. Okay, don't go for the Quantum Barter deck. It's my favorite monument, but it's a red herring. Don't do it. Did we pass any Conquest yet? Don't tell me. Okay. I gotta remember to look for that. So we need military is what I'm hearing. Okay, now we can conquer if we need to. We don't have opportunity here. Yeah, I think we'll just gain resources there. Take one of each. But that's 3 military because of our training facility. Have we not run into a conquest yet? Man. So there's the Mars. That was like a tier 2 priority for us. Yeah, none of these are our tier 1 priorities, so I think we've got enough military for the time being, so we're gonna get science and industry. Okay, there's a conquest. Gotta go for it. So that is 1. What do we need? Industry. There we go. There's the other conquest. Gotta do it. So that costs us 2. And I'm going to go industry again, because hopefully we're building that Nova stage eventually. All right, so we don't have the Mars built. We got to keep these. It's a loss condition per the scenario rules, so that means we have to spend 2 military, which that could hurt if we miss a we don't have to be absolutely perfect. We could miss 1 conquest, maybe even 2 if things go right. Because what I'm thinking about is we're kind of in trouble if we draw both conquests in the same hand, but no sense worrying about that. We're also in trouble if we draw a conquest in the first hand because we don't have enough military. All right. We did not, and we're going to take the military, I think. That orbital fluxway is so important, though. We got to take the military, though. We can't miss a conquest. Now we're sitting pretty for a while, at least. There's the other conquest, or one of them. So that's 3. And what do we need? I'm going to act as if maybe we don't get the Nova stage built. So we're going to take some science. No conquest, no orbital fluxway. Do we call for tribute? That would get us 4, but we're not hurting for those. This is what, round 2? I need science. That's the priority. I always got to have science. Not science, military. My brain was thinking military, and I kept saying science. Yeah, let's do this. Get one of each. Okay. Then 2 more turns after that. Did I blow past the, sorry about that. Whoopsie. I'm trying to decide if I blew past the orbital fluxway already. Yeah, there was one of them. I think we did that on purpose, though, if I recall, because we had to conquer. I hate to leave myself in a spot where I need it in that last round. Okay, let's try to math this out here. If I manage to, let's say, conquer all of these, which I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Let's say I manage to conquer all of these, or close to them, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I have 6. Then that is 12. And then another 6 is 18. I'm still going to need one more point. So I either need to be perfect and conquer all of these or have something else to show for this. I think let's just plan on building one of the point scoring buildings in the last round. So I'm asking a lot of that last round. Do we have it? We can't. That would be a waste of military. The data vault would be 4 points. Maybe we do that. That keeps a card in the deck. Why not? That keeps a card in the deck. So we're going to go like that and build one stage of the data vault. That's just 4 points if we get it. Then we don't have to build one of those point scoring buildings at the end. Shucks. We need the Conquest because there's the orbital fluxway. Man. And we'll just have to hope that we can get what we need. Bummer. Why did I build the data vault? I should have built the Mars. Okay. I feel like the wheels are coming off. We're going to get some science. We're going to lose the campaign, guys. Oh my goodness. Do I just build the Mars now? No, I need to gain military. Okay. So I have to spend 3. And that deals with round 2's invasion. So we need to build that orbital fluxway, the other stage of the data vault, and maybe conquer one more. What happens if we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Let's say 7, okay? Just for... So that'd be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're still one short. But if we go, like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, and then another 6. Because I'm getting a little nervous about paying for all these conquer action and not having the Mars. I think I made a bad decision going for the data vault. I should have went for the Mars so that we had enough military to go around in case I need to conquer late. Okay, we'll see what the cards give us. Final round. For all the marbles. There's the Conquest right away. And we can't do it. Because we have 4 and we need 5. Okay then. There's nothing here that we need. So we'll take resources. We're not hurting for these. I never did build the Nova stage. What if I did that? Oh my goodness. Don't follow me for strategy advice. Stretching myself too thin. That's my MO. Call for tribute for science. That's not a bad idea. But we need military so badly. So we'll take 1 of each. What I'm thinking is if I can get the Nova stage built, that's almost as good as getting the Mars built, because we can deal with those invasions and we have money to pay for this final conquest. Don't tell me we passed the orbital fluxway yet. Come on. It's really important for our strategy. And there's not that many cards left. Our odds keep going up of seeing it in the same hand. Well, here's the data vault. Why not? That's 4 points. Yeah, okay. There's 4. Oops, I drew 4. Okay. We don't need any of these. I'm going to take this. Up to 9. I think 2 hands after this. There's our Conquest, and we need that. Oh, man. But there's the orbital fluxway. Now we got to do math. So if we do conquer this last one, that's another 2 points on its own per the scenario rule. But if we don't, if we choose to not do the Conquest and try to build the fluxway instead, we can't build it. I did not leave myself in a good spot. So we got to do the Conquest. That's our best move at this point. The Empire is crumbling around us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will take the final science location. Look how pretty that map is. We control so much. Okay. The fluxway is toast. We could call for tribute and get industry. Not worth it. The orbit, Urbis. Not worth it. What do we need? Goodness. I guess, weirdly, we need science right now. There's only 1 hand left. Oh my goodness, we're going to lose this. No conquests left. Can't get the orbital fluxway. I don't like the orbit Urbis, which is our other option here, doesn't do anything for us. So what's possibly in these 2 cards? I mean, maybe a building that we could build. But we also need to make sure we have enough military to just not lose from that. But we're going to lose anyway. But if I don't take military now, I'm going to have to take it in the next hand. Oh, this is a bummer. Not good. Not good play. Oh, goodness. Yeah, useless. Okay, let's tally it up. We've got 6 locations times 2 per the scenario rule. That's 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. That is a far cry from the 19 we needed. Let us hear what the game has to say about that. Defeat. No civilization is eternal. Even marble crumbles with time. The Empire will have dominated the world, but the wheel of history turns. You have been forgotten. Oh, overwhelming defeat. That sounds like we deserve that. Okay, well, you guys made it to the end of the campaign. Thank you for watching, and please check out the game. Thanks.